Hey guys, Benjamin here. So for those of you who don't know me, I used to work at Amazon in the vendor management team. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the step-by-step guide that I've used to launch multiple thousands of products across hundreds of vendor accounts and that I continue to use today. So without further ado, first step is you want to go to Vendor Central. On the menu in the top left, you'll find the items and then add products section here. Click on that, which will take you here. And so here we've got a couple options that we can use to create products, but there's two main ones that I use. So the first is product IDs. So you can use this if you've got like one product that you're creating, one or two. But most of the time I use this option here, the spreadsheet. So this is by far the most accurate, most efficient way of doing it, particularly if you've got, dozens of products that you want to create at once. So the first step is you want to download the blank template. So the spreadsheet differs slightly according to the category of a product. So grocery products will be slightly different from, say, outdoor equipment, sports, and so on. So you want to click on spreadsheet, and then you want to download the product spreadsheet that's relevant for your products. And so you can just, easily type in which category or which product is. For example, if I'm doing, fruit crisps, I can type in crisps and then it'll come up with the relevant category. You can click select and then generate the spreadsheet here. Again, the spreadsheets will slightly differ by product category. For example, if you're in the grocery category, you're going to have to enter the expiration dates for your products. If you're selling, tents, you probably don't have to. So that's the first step. Once you've done that, you'll get this spreadsheet here. So I'm going to go over now which fields are relevant. Some are very important, others you can skip. But essentially, you want to start on the left here and then make your way to the right. Where it says required, obviously you should, the spreadsheet requires you to fill in those areas. So you want to start out, what's your vendor code? Put that in. Usually it comes down as a drop-down menu. Here, you want to put in the SKU. What's your SKU number, and then obviously the product type, which should automatically populate based on the spreadsheet, item name, so on. So I won't go through each of these, but I'll flag the important ones. So firstly, obviously the item name. These ones are all core attributes, so just make sure you got them right. The brand name. Over here, the product ID, so this is the barcode. The important thing to remember here is you want to set the product up in the exact same form in which the customer buys it. So for example, if the customer is buying single units of the product, you want to set the product up as a single unit. That means the cost price, the barcodes, they all must be of that single unit. And this is the case even if you're shipping in case packs or in in inners of like 6, 12 individual units. So you always want to set it up as in the same form in which the customer buys it. So if your intention is for the customer to buy the product as a bulk pack of 12 individual units, then you want to put the barcode of the bulk pack, the cost price of the bulk pack. So you effectively want to set up the bulk pack as a single unit. Conversely, if you want the customer to buy single units of the product, so like individual packets of chips, for example, you want to include the cost price, the barcodes, all of that of the individual units. Even if you're shipping those individual units in case packs. There will be a field, and I'll go through this in a second, which you can use to influence what quantities that Amazon will order in. So as we go to the right here, obviously the barcode is an important one here, and then you keep going to the right here. Most of this is pretty self-explanatory, and it's not too significant. Like the subcategories, it's pretty self-explanatory. The browse nodes, the package level. So in this case, you might want to. Most of the time, it's unit for me. and then package of orderable. So I put this as yes. And then the SKU numbers, manufacturer, also pretty self-explanatory. Over here, so the list price with tax, this is the recommended retail price. You can put, whatever it is that you want here. Not too significant. You can always change that, decrease, increase it in the future. What is quite important is the cost price, right? So this is obviously at what price Amazon will buy it from you. Now, it is always so much easier to decrease the cost price on Amazon than it is to increase it. In fact, it's almost impossible to increase the cost price without a vendor manager doing it from their end. So I would just double check that this is correct, that the value you've put in here is correct, because again, it'll be very difficult to increase that cost price in the future. Decreasing it not so challenging, but increasing it is a bit of a nightmare, or it can be a nightmare. So as we continue to the right here, again, pretty self-explanatory. The bullet points, you can kind of edit this in the future. The product descriptions, number of items, most of the time this is one, or it's not too significant. But the number of items in what the customer is buying. If the customer is buying a bulk pack of chips that contains six chip packets, then you want to put 6 as the number of items. Description, size, this is all pretty easy. Again, manufacturer contact information. You can use the examples I have here in terms of formatting, and then just copy that for your relevant case. Most of these are recommended. You can pretty much skip them. It's not super useful. And then we continue going to the right. The other ones that I want to flag would be the unit count. So here we go. So the unit count, this is important because this will this impacts like what the customer sees on the product page. So you want to make sure that the unit count is correct, right? So and where is it? Unit count. Yeah. So like say for example we've got a 12 packet of chips. Here you'll put 12. Again, the customer is buying a bulk pack of 12 packets. So in each bulk pack, there's 12. You put it here. Expirable, most cases in food products, this will be yes. If the product isn't food, you won't have this. Expiration date, the type expiration type. Usually I just put expiration on package. And then put the relevant number of days. Days here, and so this is the field that I wanted to flag. So this is relevant particularly for grocery or consumable products, CPG, consumer packaged goods. So you want to put in how much, like what's the weight that the customer is getting, like how much product is the customer getting. So if it's a 200 gram packet of chips and it's one packet that the customer is buying, you put in here 200. And then grams. If your product is like, like a phone case, obviously it's, you put 1. It's a unit count of 1 phone case for each unit, and then just count. So you just want to make sure this is correct because it impacts customer experience, like what the customer buys, what they see on the product page. Particularly for like consumer packaged goods where people are browsing the cheapest product weight, like cost by weight, then you just want to make sure that the weight is correct, right? If you have, say, back to our example, 12 packets of chips, let's just say there's 12 packets and each packet is 100 grams, so you'll put in 1,200 and then grams for that entire bulk pack that the customer is buying. And then, release date, this is when you want it to go live on Amazon. You can just put now or whenever you want it to go live. And the other important field is, there's 2 actually. So the first is variations. So you can set up variations here, but to be honest, I prefer to just use the vendor support cases. You can just create the variations after the ASIN and the product is live. So most of the time I just leave this blank and then do it later. The two fields here, origin, like Australia in my case, or you might want to put United States, and then dangerous goods regulation. Most cases not applicable. And then if it's not applicable, then you don't have to put anything for these. If it is applicable, you would have to fill out the relevant ones. And then the last fields that are important come to the product weight. Here we go. So these can be quite important. So firstly, the length, width, height, and weight. So you just want to make sure this is correct. The potential issues if you put this incorrectly, like if you say 200 kilograms by mistake, what might happen is the Amazon fulfillment centers, the FCs, won't inbound the product if it's too big, too heavy. So you just have to make sure that this is entered incorrectly. Again, this is all based on what the customer is buying. If the customer is buying one single unit, then that's what you put the dimensions of the single unit. Even if you're shipping in 12, 13, 14, or whatever in increments, you still put what the customer is buying, which will be one unit. If the customer is buying a bulk pack, a case pack, a pallet, whatever it is, then again you put the units, the length, weight, so on, off the pallet or off the case pack, or whatever the customer is buying. So hopefully that makes sense. That's probably the biggest thing to watch out for. The other important field, this is super important, particularly for consumable products, is this field here, the items per inner pack. So what this field tells Amazon is at what increments can they order your products. So in this case, 5. If we put 5, as per the example, Amazon will order either 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so on. You get it, right? If you put 10, they will order either 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so on. So essentially, the way to understand this is if you've set the product up as a single unit, the customer is buying, say, 1 bottle of soda, but obviously you don't want to send Amazon individual units, right? You're not going to do that. Instead, you'll be sending them case packs, right? So say in each case pack, you've got 12 units of that soda. You're selling each individual unit of soda, but you want to ship to Amazon in increments of 12. So 12, 24, so on, because that means you can, instead of breaking down the case pack into single units in your warehouse, you can just ship them the case pack, right? Saves a whole bunch of costs from your end. So in that case, what you would do is the items per inner pack, you would put it as 12. And then Amazon will order 12, 24, 36, and so on. Or 0. So I see a lot of brands, they put items per inner pack, they leave it as default 1, for example, and then they get orders of 2 units, 3 units, 1 unit, right? Because you see, Amazon will order based on customer demand, right? So if it's a new product, they're going to want to order small amounts, right? They serve, their system will not order more than it has to. And so if you correctly use this items per inner pack field, you essentially put almost like an MOQ, a minimum order quantity. You prevent Amazon from raising these individual unit orders. So yeah, that's kind of super important. And then items per inner pack, to be honest, most of the time I put this as 1, but you can adjust that if you so wish. And yeah, this pretty much is it. So again, to summarize this items per inner pack. So say we have 2 products. We've got, if we had a bulk pack, customers buying a bulk pack of 12 drinks, and we don't mind if Amazon orders 1 because we just ship them a bulk pack, right? So If the product is set up as a bulk pack, the cost price, the barcodes off the bulk pack, then we put this as 1. And then, Amazon will order 1, 2, 3. That's fine. If we're selling single units, but we still want to ship to Amazon case packs of 12, so we don't have to break it down, we would put 12 here. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Cool. So after you filled all this out, you want to go back to your catalog here, and then it's as simple as uploading the spreadsheet over here. After you've uploaded it, if everything's been filled out correctly, you will see your products in the catalog. And that's step 1 done. Now, the next step is obviously you need to get the stock to Amazon. So this is where either, if you have Born to Run enabled, you can raise a Born to Run order and then you'll get a PO. Once the PO has been received by Amazon, it'll become available for sale. If you don't have Born to Run, your option is to raise a manual customer order from on the website, and then you should see Amazon raise a purchase order in 2 to 3 weeks, in my experience. Again, the thing to keep in mind is Amazon's POs ordering system is entirely based on customer demand. So if there is customer demand, they will place a PO, providing you have the product set up in your end, it's available, there's a cost price, there's a main image. So yeah, always include a main image. And either use Born to Run or place a manual custom order to get the product inbounded. And then next step is, to wait until the product has been received, scanned in at Amazon's fulfillment center. Once it has been scanned in, you want to start driving demand and selling the product. And obviously the best way to do that is through advertising. You want to start creating ads to drive traffic to the listing and to get it up and running. So I've actually got a 3-step advertising strategy that I've used across multiple hundreds, thousands of products. That I use specifically for new products on vendor accounts. So let me know if you want me to release that, send it across in a video. But yeah, once you've started your advertising strategy, you watch, nothing left to do but watch your sales go up. Thanks for listening. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and have a good day.